Welcome to Dick's Sporting Goods Park, everyone. A couple days late. The 5A title game set to go here in boys soccer. I'm Corey Lopez. Glad you're along with us. What a beautiful facility here. Whiteout conditions on Saturday. We did get a couple of titles determined, and a good thing that 4A game went to penalty kicks after a couple of overtimes. Otherwise, we would have tried to have started the 5A title game. I'm pretty sure about that. As it works out, turns out to be a fairly nice night here at Dick's Sporting Goods Park. Certainly crisp out, but we don't have to worry about any precipitation, certainly by any means. Glad you're along with us. Boulder and Smoky Hill. And for Boulder, first opportunity to ever play in a boys soccer final. Commerce City right now, it is 37 degrees, and we've got, no chance of snow here tonight. We were dealing with that all day on Saturday. Fourth seed, Smoky Hill comes in here at 15-1-3. Their lone loss was to Aurora Central, and that was way back at the beginning of part of the season on September 8th. And 3 ties with that to Littleton, to Arapahoe, who, by the way, made it to the second round of the 5A tournament this year before getting knocked out, and then Grandview, and then 6th-seeded Boulder. Wow. Talk about a team that, has lived a charmed life, certainly. They started out the season at 2-5. I mean, the state finals was the furthest thing from their minds, certainly, but got on a roll. They've had two-game losing streaks during the regular season. It's pretty unheard of for a team that makes it all the way to the state finals, certainly in boys soccer over the last, several years here. A lot of times, we saw in class in 3A and 4A, the teams that were in the titles, they have 1 or 2 losses, maybe, or the only blemish is a couple of ties. But Boulder's 13-6 coming in here. Their last loss, though, was on October 11th to Pooter, and that was a 2-1 defeat. And then they got on a roll. The Panthers coming in as the 6th seed. They beat Montbello, who was certainly a much lower-seeded team, but then they beat Chatfield, upset Rock Canyon. They beat their crosstown rivals Fairview to get here to the title game. And for Smoky Hill, they opened up against Doherty. And then Rangeview, they beat Pine Creek and then beat Cherry Creek in a great title game. White team is Smoky Hill. And this one chipped back into the 18. A short hump, and Hotel will play it here for Boulder. The purple are the Panthers from Boulder. And again, gloves and, no hats out there. Gloves the rule, though, for several of the players for Boulder. A lot of work in the midfield here. It'll be interesting to see how, again, for Boulder, they have been so hot here toward the end of the season. That's all you ask for, really, when it comes down to it. Get hot by the time the playoffs roll around, and you can maybe do a little bit of damage. They certainly have. Javier Castrita, actually, chipping it ahead, but Smoky Hill will have the throw-in on the far side. We expect fairly fast pace for Smoky Hill. They like to push the pace a little bit. We've seen it here throughout the season. No one really trying to work it or swing it from side to side. Branham brings it here to the near side. Wilczak, as he works down this far side, working against the double team. They try to keep that possession. Buffs are going to start to push them off here and now get it back to the midfield as Smoky Hill will work their way through. 40-minute halves. 80 minutes total, but we can go 110 if need be. Oh, boy. A forearm shiver there, and they say play on. Extended the arm a little bit, but the referees may be allowing a little extra contact here tonight. This is the state finals. Let them play. Again, I'm seeing a little bit of contact here. What was that? They try to play it through. Well played by Smoky Hill. Chip down the field. That off the side of the foot, though, and it'll head out of bounds. Hunter Yaksh, the junior, just trying to play it down this near boundary line. Again, a different look for us. At least for me, having done Rapids games, the players, the benches were usually down below us. Put the players on the other side here for the soccer final. So the crowd, you can hear underneath us, and then there's no crowd on the other side. They don't allow anybody over there. The players are kind of isolated over there with the coaches. Feel like you're playing at one of the local soccer facilities here, the multiple fields where they put the fans on the other side. They put the players across from the parents, who are usually very vocal. That's an understatement. Waltrip tries to center at top of the 18 here, and away it goes. I guess I'll throw it out for folks who know a lot about soccer, the 18 being the penalty box, the bigger box there, and then the goal box will refer to as the 6. That's over the last 10 to 15 years, that kind of lingo has kind of come in. And it's not a goalie anymore. It's a keeper. 20 years ago, it was okay to call him a goalie. Yox tries to push that through, and a turnover. Here comes Boulder trying to lead that through. Well played by the defender as Ladiga will kick it to the side. Boulder will have the throw in here. First 5 minutes as we push through here. A little bit of adrenaline pumping through the veins of the two teams who did actually start to, well, warm up a little bit, I guess, on Saturday. But I think it was a pretty foregone conclusion. Everybody kind of knew. Nice back heel here to the side. Cross coming, deflected, out it goes. It'll be the first corner of the game for Boulder. Clever move by the forward, and Dolliard will take the corner. In swinger, headed over the top. Boy, got a pretty good head on that one. Castrita, and there are 3 of them out there. That's Javier, the junior. You can't ask for a much better set play. Just to be able to do something like that. Chipped here to the side. Panthers, well, kind of the aggressors here. Boy, a little tugging and pushing going on. Whittlezak will go ahead and toss it in. Smoky Hill will have the possession, but again, sent down near the midfield line, and another throw in here for Boulder. Rohan Shrestha with the throw in. Out it goes, and it'll be a Smoky Hill throw in. So Bups will have it. We'll see how long those all-white uniforms stay white here. Field's in beautiful shape after the, 2 matches played on there. One of those matches going to double overtime and then going to penalty kicks. And the precipitation sitting on there, the ice, the players running on top of the field actually looks in great shape. Scrape that snow off. You can still see some snow behind the goals here. Turnover. Panthers will have it. Try to turn it right back this way. Branham. Wolzak. Defender to touch that one. Still played ahead. Shrestha. Castrita. Goal. How about that? Javier Castrita worked his way between 2 defenders on that right side and fires it through. 7 minutes in, the Panthers are up 1-0. Hey, when you're hot, you're hot. Well, the feed from the top, and I'm going to give you this one because it's actually spelled wrong in the roster. Wow, that was a beautiful goal. You can see the pressure that was being applied by Boulder here in the last 3 minutes or so, but for him to be able to split a double team and then strike one like that, boy, and the aggression now, the Buffs, they quickly try to push the numbers forward here. Chip to the top of the 18. Bounding ball over the top. Well played by the defender there on that far side. That was Valericio. Buff still pushing through. From his wallet, he got his boot on it and played it forward. Tackle there. The ball will go out of the throw-in for the Buffs. So 7th minute, and Javier Castrita. Well, that changed your game plan a little bit, I think, if you're the Buffs. And certainly they were still trying to settle in. Opening kickoff, Buffs were able to kind of push the ball down into the Boulder defensive third and really bound the ball in. Hutel had to make one save, and it's kind of a bounding ball. It was fairly easy. But then Boulder just turned it right back around. Play forward here. Center back will play it here to the midfield. That one bounded up and got up on the hands maybe, or a push from behind. Nope, handball. Free kick coming here for Boulder. Corey Waltrip, the senior, will take the free kick. 9 minutes in here. Clock actually counts down. I'm kind of counting up just to give you a sense of the soccer match. 31-37 left to go in the first half. 40-minute halves again. Waltrip, let's see. Probably going to stick it inside the 18. Nope. Castrita will send it to the far side here. Well, the patience of the Panthers here. Not bad. Switch sides of the field. Shrestha. Walzak, bounding ball. Coming out to play it will be Grayson Heath, who had a huge save against Cherry Creek late into that overtime that helped propel Smoky Hill here to the finals. Heath had no chance on the shot by Castrita, though. Missed touch there. It heads over the end line. Goal kick coming. Soccer coverage here is presented in part by College in Colorado, where higher education is the key to a student's future, from improved salaries to unique experiences and greater life choices. CollegeInColorado.org can help your student create a lifelong plan and explore their dreams for the future. That's collegeincolorado.org. Try to touch that through. Wilczek will try to play it through. Boulder keeps that possession. They keep it on their feet. Waltrip try to move that ahead. Buffs have it. And again, they'll just swing it to the side. A little frustration setting in here is Hamilton Pennywell. You could see upset with himself, the senior. He was trying to bend that back into the field, send it down the field, so the Buffs would have an opportunity to try to push forward. Haven't seen a lot of that here in the match. And Smoky Hill already down 1-0. And mistouched by Jeff Gillis. Gillis, the game-winning goal against Cherry Creek. And this one headed to the side and a throw in for Boulder. Wow. 7th minute, a goal through. Certainly, and I mentioned changing your thinking if you're Smoky Hill. I don't think it's altered the thinking of Boulder to this point. One goal may not get it done. These two teams can put them up a little bit. By the way, for Javier Castrita, that is his 7th goal of the season. They spread it out pretty good. Leading goal scorer, but we don't have any double-digit goal scorers here for Boulder. Well, Zach tries to play that through. Whoop, referee got in the way of that one. It happens, just like an umpire in football. Gillis now will have it. Smoky Hill tries to gather and move forward now. Touch through the middle. Well played. And Leeshout actually stepped in front and just impeded the progress here. Now Lake Brandt. Brandt fires from distance. That'll go wide. Like in basketball, that's a heat check. How hot are you? Castrita makes the goal. You go, you know what? I see a little bit of daylight here. Let's see if I can put it in the top corner. got away from him. 13 minutes in. Race to the far side. Andrew Franceschi won the race, but kicks it up into the stands here. So a throw in for Boulder, and again, Panthers keeping the pressure on. Luis Castrita, number 17. I'll start calling them by their first names. Actually, there's 3 of them out there. Waltrip will go to the side, and here we go. Touched through by Brandt. Didn't quite make it. The Buffs trying to tighten up here. A lot of turnovers early on, though. Passes not making their way through. Wilczak tries to touch that one through. Brandt looking for another opportunity there. I'll tell you what. Lake Brandt, you can see him chasing in the purple here, putting a lot of pressure on the defenders for Smoky Hill. They play that forward, tipped over the top, and turn right back over. Gillis try to lay this one through. Into the 18, it will come. Hutel will get out and play it. Came off his line at the right time. Walter Prince was headed that way for the Buffs. Drop kicked out. Headed forward by Austin Rebick as the ball comes here to the side. First to it is McRiplis out toward the top of the 18. They're going to try to work this right side. Buffs' only second opportunity. This one into the 18. Ooh, ball got through the wickets for a moment. And now it'll come to the side. Boulder can go with a counter here if they can get to moving. Wilczak trying to send that one down. Instead, Prince had it for a moment. And Castrita right back on it. That's Luis Castrita. Wilczak trying to work this left side. Bodying up a little bit. He'll have possession again as he gets to the end line. Left foot cross and a touch that'll go wide. Tough angle for Brandt. He was trying to go near post. You think about it, it's coming from the end line. He's almost inside the goal box there, the 6. They're trying to find an angle and then try to figure out where Grayson Heath is at the same time. "16 minutes in, 1-0 lead for Boulder here. Javier Castrita with a rocket just inside the 18. There's Luis Castrita as he sends it to the side. Out of the 3 classifications, only 1 top seed made it through, and that was Palmer Ridge. And they got beat after 2 overtimes. They went to penalty kicks and got beat by a Battle Mountain club that was very good. Controlled possession the entire way through that match. We kept saying it was just a matter of time. Well, it took them 110 minutes, and then they went to a shootout, and Haben Garcia finally snuck one underneath the keeper, John Kuchansky, the senior, who we said, that's your MVP. If Palmer Ridge finds a way to win, Kuchansky was incredible between the pipes. Ball sent in, bounding ball. Hutel is there. Takes it on the one hop. Had a couple of white shirts around him. And then the 3A title game. A goal in the 25th minute. Colorado Academy beat Kent Denver. Connor Weissman there in the 25th. And a pretty well played match. Buffs will try to gather, get a little something going. Austin Rebick, the senior, he tried to send that forward again. The Panthers pounce on it there. Boulder moving forward now. Javier, touch to the side. Well played defensively. Latiga As he tries to send it through, we'll get a touch on Boulder. So a throw in now for Smoky Hill. 18 minutes in here. Don't get a sense, obviously, we're watching from a distance here, but you don't get a sense of any panic. Smoky Hill just going to keep doing what they're doing because they've got a long way to go in the match. Waltrip able to play a Buff player off the ball for the moment, and now it's DeMazzo. Delamazo trying to work on the far side. This will be kicked away, and a throw in coming for the Buffs again. Trying to get Gillis involved in here. This one up into the air, headed out, top of the 18, but it'll be sent wide. And it will be a goal kick. Henry Hutel, the junior keeper, came off his line, and then his defender. And that's a little bit of miscommunication. If you're a defender, the ball's coming right to you. You're going to get up there and head that one. I think that Hutel probably would have preferred to be able to punch that one a little bit farther away. Touch to the side by Margriplis. They try to work the corner here. Buffs starting to push numbers forward. Good possession now. That one got up. That was nearly a handball there, and then a light touch. And that one definitely a handball, and a free kick coming for Boulder. Good patience. Smoky Hill couldn't find an opening. And now the pace being picked up here a little bit. Swept to the side. Throw in coming from Boulder. Panthers keeping 4 back in the meantime into the 18. Left foot, and the save there by Heath. Not a bad effort. Heath was in the right place. Cut the angle a little bit. Didn't get too far off his line. Made that look pretty easy. Gillis tries to touch it back, and a turnover. Boy, a lot of tough passes. Javier will send it to the far side. And again, Boulder tries to go to work. Taken away from Duyard. Duyard comes racing back, nearly picked it right back from Delmazo. A little collision there by Waltrip. He'll send it out. Throw in coming for Smoky Hill. Buffs trying to gather it together here. Latiga, Delamazo, and Zach Clemens, the senior, trying to work that left side for Smoky Hill. They haven't found a combination that works yet. 21 minutes into the match. Glad you're with us here on CHSAA.tv. Last boys soccer game of the year. We thought we were going to be done on Saturday. Weather turned on us. Touched off the top of the head. Can Wilczak get to it first? He will. Try to work it down the side. Boy, that's confidence in what your center back's going to do there. Hunter Yaksh sent it right toward the 18, but his center back was there. Wilczak there. Whoop. Tough touch. They say play on. We'll blow the whistle and have a free kick coming. Yeah, a late whistle. Tyler Glenn ended up going down there, and you saw like Brandt also down. Whoa! Well, a few times we've seen guys slipping around here. Field's in good shape. I mentioned it before, and if you didn't tune in on Saturday, or you didn't tune in for very long because we had to tell you that it was postponed, the field actually has a system underneath, a vacuum system that will draw the precipitation, any leftover water that is in the field. It will suck it right down through the field, through the soil and the sand and the rocks that are down underneath this natural turf. As a matter of fact, the reason we could play the 4A title game was because they also have heating coils that run through there, and they had those turned on pretty quickly in the middle of the 3A game when it started to snow. But the problem was too much snow started to fall by the end of the 4A game. There was no way it was going to catch up, and it was cold. The wind chill had to be easily into the teens, if not single digits at times. It was swirling around in here. Led ahead, Rebick. Try to push that through, got it right back to him as it ping-ponged back. Buffs trying to kind of push the numbers forward. Glenn with it. Played off the ball. Wilczak. Boy, I'll tell you what. Everywhere the ball is, there's a purple shirt. Boulder is really swarming defensively. Pennywell tries to center this up. Through ball goes right to Boulder. And here comes Javier Castrita. Barnum tried to play that through. And again, right back on it. Wilczak. Barnum, now Lewis Castrita. And we'll switch fields here. Turned over, and here comes Smoky. Javier Castrita. Nifty work. Douillard playing that right side. We'll get the throw in here for Boulder. Not enough on the throw. Oh, Javier Castrita was there and narrowly got to it. Buffs can try to turn it around here. Boulder playing basically four back and a missed touch for the moment. Glenn with it. Smoky Hill trying to regather, get something going. Glenn down the side, nobody there. We've seen that 4 times already in the match as they try to bring it down this right side. The touches are too wide. Ball sent down, race is on. And a smart play by Kevin Edgar, senior defender, just to send it wide, get his defenders back here. Sresta to throw this in for Boulder. 15:30 left to go in the first half. Middle of the field. Javier Castrita. Wilczak finds Castrita. Javier trying to work his way through. Knocked down. They say play on. Got a little tap on the right shoulder and went down. Well, trouble averted by Smoky. They'll try to counter here. Luis Castrita got to it, picks it up. It's on his feet now as he touches to the middle. And they switch fields wisely. Out of Iso. There's Javier. Touches left side. Wilczak to the right foot. This will go far post. Knocked down, saved from going over the end line. Well played by Heath there. Touched it wide and then was able to get to it and gather it in. Buffs have had a hard time pushing through the midfield. Just to get through there has been tough. Pennywell, send it back. 14 minutes to go here in the first half. Just kind of checking out the situation with the wind. The wind, somehow we got northeast winds again. Whoop, picked off up top. Right foot off the crossbar. Oh, you don't get much closer than that. Gurung with the shot. Boy, he would love to have that one back. Nothing wrong with it. It just sailed on him a little bit. Grayson Heath had no chance on that one. Boy, what an effort. Gurung. The defender was trying to send it out and just intercepted it, able to settle it for himself, and then get off a great shot. Here come the Buffs now. A little something going. This one touched wide by Ben Lyshout. It'll be a throw in here on the near side. Rebick will go ahead and throw it in. Or maybe Gripless. Substitutes coming in. You can sub as many times as you like, by the way. I'd throw that out there as well. We did the lingo. Now we do the rules here. It's not like professional soccer where you're only allowed 3 substitutions. Sub as many times as you like. Last touch by the Buffs. That'll be a goal kick. Our students certainly appreciate the fact that they're not seen as a number in a sea of faces, that it feels like home right here. Small class sizes and caring faculty make a positive difference when it comes to student success. Get the support you deserve and choose the right path to your future at Adams State University. For more information, visit adams.edu. It'll be another goal kick here. Not so much with the preciseness of the passes for Smoky Hill. I think something in intermission that you certainly talk about. It's the little things. And we've already seen some turnovers as the ball is kind of sent wide. I've counted 4 times here on the near side where they're just trying to send the ball down and they end up sending it out. Get a throw in for Boulder, and Boulder flips it right back around and pushes the numbers forward. In the meantime, the Panthers look pretty crisp. Free kick, 11 minutes to go here in the first half. 30 minutes in. This one headed toward the top of the 18. Headed out. Brandt has it. We'll send it to the side. Smoky Hill trying to get something going here. Chipped over the top, wide, and guess what? Over the boundary line. A little heavy with that touch. A 1-goal deficit is not the end of the world. It came so early. You could kind of figure out what's going on, what maybe you need to try to fix. But they have not been able to really put anything together. There's a strike from distance, and that'll head into the stands. Well, Walter Prince, the senior, liked how the ball set up for him, and he thought he'd go ahead and take a shot, but it sailed. That's a good 40-yard shot. And the keeper for Boulder, Henry Hutel, he stays on his line. He doesn't stray very far away. Play on, they say. Well, you saw Jeff Gillis go down like he got a pretty good push. Gillis with it on his foot will tap it wide. Too heavy with it. The Panthers will try to push it through the midfield again. Turnover. Here we go. Douillard. Slip down, trying to keep possession. Here it comes to Prince. He's able to play that through. Oh, a little bit more speed on that one, and that would have been big time trouble. Instead, the Buffs get a throw in on the far side here. 8:45 to go in this half. Little give and go. Can he find some space? Sends it wide. Too heavy. Out it goes. Thought was there. Kevin Del Mazo just put a little too much on it. Our state championship coverage provided in part by Colorado Farm Bureau Insurance. We'll be there the day you buy your first car, the day your first child is born, and the day you file your first claim. We'll be there to make sure that your insurance coverage keeps up with all the changes in your life. Colorado Farm Bureau Insurance, get real coverage. Here the Buffs crowd try to get into this one. Well played. Here comes Lehman, and he got knocked down. They say play on. Turned over. Luis Castrita tried to send it forward. Instead, Smoky Hill will move it into the offensive third now. Still going. Prince. Chipped over the top. Buffs will have that one. Player a little slow to get up for Boulder. Now he's up and around. I wouldn't say that he's quite ready to go. Javier Castrita gets knocked down. We're going to stop the clock here, and a card's coming out. Yellow card to Zach Clemens, who knocks down Javier Castrita. So Zach Clemens given a yellow here. We actually saw in the 4A title game a red card handed out. Palmer Ridge ended up having to go a man down. All the way through the double overtime. From the midfield, headed down the 18 and then swept to the side here. Greenwich will play it to himself. Turned on the Jets here, and now he'll try to send this down. Man, too heavy with it. And Hutel will step out. Jeff Gillis was kind of in the area there, but, well, that was a rocket. 34th minute here. 6:41 to go in the first half. And again, Greenwich this time sends it a little more toward the center of that 18. Well, misplayed. And they'll send it to the side now. Boy, for Boulder, the back four have looked very good here. Once that starts to get into the 18, they just kind of settle in, and then they start throwing purple shirts at you. I mean, it is never ending. Valdivieso tries to send it down. We're in the midfield here. Panthers try to gather it together. Luis Castrita now. He tried to dribble through, could not. Glenn played it right off the foot and now touched through. I'm not sure what he was looking for. He was offside. Vinny McGripplis, it looked like he was trying to do a little give and go. He had the field open. Now, he was offside, but he didn't even look toward the goal. Now, you think about it as a player on the field, you got a few things going through your head, obviously. I mean, you think about wanting to score, but at the same time, he knew that he was probably pretty close to going offside there. So you got that working. And if you want me to explain offside for soccer, no cherry picking. Let's just say that. Best way it was described to me is that it's a moving blue line in hockey. Okay? And it's basically a zone here. Well, you know what? There was a Boulder player on that far side that, yeah, he's a little slow. You know what? He's holding his left arm. I did see that they did kind of collide heads there, and now he's like holding his arm a little bit. And that's Lake Brandt. That's going to go off here for the moment. You know, head-to-head is probably pretty hard, but even head-to-ball here tonight with the temperatures, it'll rattle your teeth a little bit. Start the clock up again, 4:50 to go here in the half. Defender will send this forward here. Loose pass. Buffs will still have it, though. Touch forward. Panthers are there. Again, tough to get through that midfield. You got to be pretty crisp with the passes. Luis Castrita. Heavy touch, and here we go to work. Greenwich now to send this one forward. Gillis will get to it. Gillis wants to go to work and now tries to touch it in as Greenwich was coming. The defender just got a boot on it, and that disrupted the timing. Touch through. Defender will play it back to the midfield. Under 4 minutes to go here in the first half. Javier Castrita. Well, 4-on-4 basically now as it's swung to that far side. Douillard with the centering pass, and it'll be touched out, and it will be a corner. Hamilton Pennywell got back and played pretty good defense that time. Got right in front of Mateo Wilczak. Douillard will take the corner here. Right-footed kick coming out, and this one headed right into the 6, far post, and out it comes. Luis Castrita will send one in, and a one-hopper played by Heath. 2:10 to go in the first half. Wilczak never gives up on it there. There he is, got his head to it. Now we'll send it to the side. Douillard got a little space. Cross coming, top of the 6, and Wilczak could not. That's a little bit of a tweener. Do you scissor kick it? Do you let it come down so that you can get a good strike on it and maybe try to hit it with that inside heel, or do you try to get forward and get ahead on it? He couldn't quite figure what to do. Lifted the boot up about knee high, and it went wide. 2:20 to go in the half. We'll break for a short period of time just to let you know as you're listening in. We're glad you're with us on CHSAA.tv here. We'll break for just a short period of time and return about a 10-minute half and then be right back with you. Buffs, maybe one last push here. Whoop. Slip on the turf. Greenwich got a little bit of room now. And a bump, and they do not blow the whistle as play continues on here. Gillis tries to send it through, and he'll draw a corner. Boy, a nice job by the referee there as Smoky Hill had the advantage, and the play was still moving here. Did not blow the whistle and stop play. Kevin DeMazzo will take the corner here. Minute 17 to go in the first half. Line drive headed out. So a throw in coming for Smoky. Yaksh, and it's headed right back out. He was looking for Glenn there. That one didn't quite make it through. Glenn, up, down he goes. Edges of the field, real slippery. The snow's been off the middle part of the field, and so water's been sucked down, but we've noticed a little slipping going on. Pennywell is going to get whistled for the foul as he knocks down Douillard, and a free kick coming. 33 seconds to go in the first half. Boulder can now push some numbers forward here and make one last push, try to add on to this lead. Corey Waltrip may be the one to take it. And Lee's House is standing there. It'll be Waltrip. Sends it to the right side of the 18. Didn't even make it all the way through.
10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Seconds left. This one being sent down here toward the corner. And the first half will end with Boulder up 1-0 on a goal from Javier Castrita. The Panthers up 1-0 going into intermission here. One card handed out to Zach Clemens from Smoky Hill. Smoky got a corner. Boulder got 2 corners out of that first half. And the Panthers certainly the aggressors in that first half and did not sit back in a defensive shell after they scored that goal in the 7th. Quick timeout, and we will come back here about 10 minutes. Ready for the second half. It's the 5A State Championship boys soccer right here in Colorado from Dick's Sporting Goods Park. And we'll be back in just a moment. Actually, about 10 minutes here on CHSAA.tv. Welcome back here, ready to go. Second half. Dick's Sporting Goods Park in Commerce City, Colorado, just outside the Denver metro area. Boulder, the 6th seed, up on the 4 seed, Smoky Hill, 1-0. I know I've got one fan listening in here. So we head into the second half on CHSAA.tv. My young son sitting in the warm confines at home. Say hi to Brooksy. How you doing, buddy? And if you're at home watching too, hey, if you want, you can tweet me if you've got questions about the game or anything like that. I'll just throw it out there, at Lopes News Sports, Lopes News Sports. I'll try to keep an eye on that for you as well. And keep the eyes on the game, too. Well-played match for Boulder as they go left to right in front of us here, playing in the road purples. Smoky Hill and the all-white kits with the red numbers. For Smoky, some loose passes in that first half. That's not what cost him. Javier Castrita just got an open opportunity and fired a quick one. Douillard push it into the 18 now. Cross will get through for the moment. Wilczak, though, could not do anything with it. And now Smoky will try to counter. And that one doesn't make it through. James Renich, the junior, tried to play that through. A quick throw in for the Buffs. Too deep over the end line. Goal kick coming. Another 40 minutes up for the half here. We're 42 minutes into the match right now. Play a total of 80. If you tuned in on Saturday, you know that it is possible to play much more than that. The 4A state title game that went to Battle Mountain, the first ever state championship in boys soccer. It went through 2 overtimes, and we had to go to penalty kicks, and Battle Mountain ended up winning on penalty kicks 4-2. Haben Garcia, who was fantastic for Battle Mountain, got the game-winning penalty kick. Here we go. Kick to the side. Smoky Hill working it. Becerra, the cross in, and Hutel got off his line and makes the grab with a buff right there on his hip. Bounding ball will be played through, and Grayson Heath will go ahead and throw it to the side. Just getting to it is Delamazo. Thought that was going to be another turnover there. Lanigan to the middle. Chip to the midfield. Greenwich will control, and Smoky Hill, you can imagine what the conversation was for the Buffs, and that is better passes, a little more control on the passes, and better possession. Let's try to hang on to the ball a little longer. Del Mazo now for the Buffs, try to play it through. Right off the back heel is Pancho Villavicio. Javier Castrita, who scored the goal on the 7th, a lone goal here. Now Luis Castrita. And touch through, Wilczak. This one bounding to the side. It'll go over the boundary line, throw in for Boulder. It's confusing for folks that are listening outside of the area, just kind of listening in, want to watch a little soccer here. The University of Colorado out of Boulder are called the Buffs. Smoky Hill's mascot are the Buffaloes here, so I'm calling them the Buffs, but I keep wanting to call Boulder the Buffs. They're not. They're the Panthers. This one over the end line. Villavicio, a little too much on that one. I'm probably not confusing anyone else, but I've started to confuse myself here about 44 minutes into the match. I say Buffs, and I go, oh, wait a minute. Make sure we're talking about the right team. Up top the 18, touch here to the side. Douillard, the cross. It's still in there. Panthers trying to work something. Top of the 18. Brandt was looking for a little bit of help. Castrita. Touch to the far side. Wilczak. Cross up top. Settled down. Left foot. Fired on. And Heath is there. ample opportunities. Mateo Wilczak, by the way, I just was looking down the roster, realizing Mateo Wilczak is a freshman. So 14, 15 years old. And playing right there in the middle of a hornet's nest. The ball that came to him, he settled it very quickly. It's a lot tougher to do than you would think with a cross coming in. 46 minutes in. Buffs try to get a little something going here. First throw, too heavy. And Douillard will keep the ball in play here. Brandt now. And the Buffs will come right back. Well played by Tyler Glenn. Elivieso. And this one headed down toward the borderline. Buffs are trying to keep possession, and this will be touched out. Bounding ball through. Versailles the last to touch it, and a goal kick coming here. Daniel Bucera, the senior, just got ahead of everybody. Our state soccer coverage presented in part by College in Colorado, where higher education is the key to a student's future, from improved salaries to unique experiences and greater life choices. Into the 18 come the Buffs here. Bounding ball. Didn't get through. Looking for a handball. It's not coming. Referee shaking his head. Wow. Was that a, yeah? Okay, that's what I thought too. Okay, Buffs still have possession here. Another opportunity. And Boulder will send it wide. Another throw in coming. Big thanks to collegeincolorado.org. You can go find out more information there. One of our sponsors on CHSAA.tv. Set in, and Boutel. That's pretty good communication with your back four there. Called off his center back and said, I got it. Drop kicks it forward. Pennywell trying to head it back to the midfield. And here come the Buffs again. 32-34 to go in the match. So they try to settle in, trying to get something going. Glenn tried to play it through. Now all of a sudden we're starting to see as Wilczak just tried to touch it inside. Didn't quite work. Here comes Smoky Hill from the far side. Top of the 18, Glenn. Didn't get it through. Oh, he was lurking, wasn't he, here on the near side? Delamazo was here. Just could not get that ball through. A little extra adrenaline going here for Smoky Hill. Becerra touches it through, but Boutel is there. 49 minutes into the match. A little bit of a collision. Pennywell did a nice job to stay with it. Greenidge works his way through a mess of Panthers here. He's still got the ball. Now we'll touch it to the side. Now the race will be won, though. Actually, it'll go out and a throw-in coming. Shrestha is there. And that one went over the line, so a throw-in for Boulder again. Pressure still being put on. Not necessarily that Smoky Hill's pushing numbers forward, but boy, you can see playing with a lot more urgency out there. Chested down and touched to the center, but trouble coming. Douillard, can he settle it down? Got it to his left foot, fires it far post, saved Heath. Grayson Heath has made some huge saves to keep Smoky Hill in this contest. By all rights, Boulder could be up 2-0. Douillard again splits the defenders. He'll get to it. The cross up top. Right foot, far post, too wide. Lake Brandt. That was the place to go. Grayson Heath was covering the inside. Didn't necessarily come off his line to really cut the angle off there. But Brandt sent it wide. Boy, all of a sudden, here I was talking about how well Smoky Hill was playing, and they were getting going here. And, well, all of a sudden it's Boulder. Line drive, cross, gets through, goal! Lake Brandt knew what to do in the second opportunity, didn't he? Missed it the first time, got the corner, and the line drive corner, the set got all the way through. He just had to get the instep on it. Not a lot of power to it, but Grayson Heath was covering the left post. Could not get back in time, and it's 2-0 Boulder. The goal comes in the 51st minute. Wow, turn of events here. The sense of urgency for Smoky Hill coming out in the second half. They tilted the field. They had a couple of opportunities. Really put pressure on Henry Hutel, the keeper for the Panthers. Yet it's Boulder who turns it back around. Great possession. Just missed an opportunity. Did Lake Brandt. But the senior finds the back of the net the second time around. Brandt's 8th goal of the season, leading goal scorer for Boulder. And it's 2-0. Brandt with the game-winning assist in Boulder's win over Fairview in the semifinals. By the way, check the temperature at halftime. At kickoff, it was 37. It's 32 now in Commerce City. Very chilly. And now with Smoky Hill, you're going to have to do a little bit more running. First half seemed like they were chasing a little bit. Not so much in this second half, but now you're going to have to start pushing numbers forward. Into the 18 it comes. Back heel, however, there's nobody there to help out for Smoky that time. Sarah has been very active here in the second half. He's had a few touches inside the 18. .28:30 to go in the match. Well, that hill to climb just became a little bit steeper here. You're going to see them start really throwing the ball down the pitch this time, and this got over the end line, and a corner kick coming for Boulder. Or excuse me, a goal kick coming for Boulder here. Adams State University celebrating a diverse student population, academic excellence, and athletic success as well. ASU focused on treating each student as a unique individual with the potential to positively contribute to their community, nation, and the world. For more information, you can visit adams.edu. That's adams.edu. Well, your game plan coming in here, if you're Boulder, might change a little bit. 27:32 to go in the second half. You've got a 2-goal lead. You start to settle back a little bit defensively, and then it's about possession. Dilliard with it, who started that whole run that pushed for the second goal. Oh, that's a tough one. And there's Brandt, far post. 2 goals for Lake Brandt. Man, oh man, I said it after the first goal that came in the 7th. When you're hot, you're hot. And that's an exclamation point on it right there. I thought Douillard had given him the pass. It was a little behind him. I thought, oh, that's tough. That's a tough angle in my mind, and I started to say it, and then suddenly, look, Brandt's got it on his right foot. He's got a clear shot. Boy, oh boy. Comes in the 53rd. Well, and here comes Boulder again. What was I saying about sitting back in a defensive shell? You kidding me? Douillard has it on his feet again. Brandt with goals 8 and 9 on the season. And Douillard, that was dangerous. Douillard went tumbling forward and a yellow card. This will go against Tyler Glenn. And again, as we've called a lot of different types of sports, girls lacrosse, field hockey are two pretty good examples. The same can be said in soccer. You're not only responsible for yourself, but you're responsible for the other players out there as well. When someone's barreling towards you on the ground, you're on the ground, you don't swing the boot. And that's where the yellow card is handed out. It's dangerous play. Free kick coming, three-man wall for Smoky Hill. It's Luis Castrita that will take it. Bends it toward the top of the 18. It'll be headed out. Boulder with 3 corner kicks, Smoky Hill with 1. A goal in the 7th for the Panthers, Javier Castrita, 51st, Lake Brandt, and then in the 53rd, Brandt, another one. 55 minutes into an 80-minute match now. 25:52 to go. Well, the defense will tighten up a little bit here, but I don't know if Boulder's going to back off. Not with the way that Douillard is serving up things. Ball here to the side. Nice spin move, shot on. Oh, that ricocheted, and Hutel has to make a pretty nice save on the shot by Del Mazo. This is what I was saying before the third goal went through, that Smoky Hill is going to start throwing everything but the kitchen sink offensively at you. Now, you'll get shots from distance. You're going to get guys trying to chip it over the top, and really, some real chance is going to be taken. That can be turned right back around by Boulder, though. That wasn't necessarily the case on Brandt's second goal here. That was just two teammates working very well together. And Greenwich will try to work down on that far side, and he'll be taken off the ball. Castrita. Albiaso tried to send it forward. Buffs had possession for a moment. Castrita gets knocked down. If you extend the arm, they're going to blow the whistle. Jeff Gillis bumped into him, but you extend the arm out, that's where the whistle's going to come. Rough play early on. The referee really was allowing a lot of bumping going on. But they tightened it up here a little bit. And that for the sense that game can start to get away from you. A little frustration will start to kind of come out, especially when a team is down by that much. One from distance won't make its way through. Gillis just figured, what the heck. Bellavieso did a nice job of getting in front of that shot. Del Mazo. Ucera gets Del Mazo inside the 18. Cross up top. Booted out. And this one will be sent wide by Glenn. Well, you take your shots when you can. Maybe if you got it off the toe, get a little spin to it. Never could really settle it down. 23:19 to go in the match. And I'll throw this out here. Professional soccer, you get 3 goals to none. That's almost insurmountable, although unfortunately I saw it. Here comes Dilliard. It'll be tipped out and a throw-in coming for Boulder. I did see the Rapids actually called a game when they were playing the New York Red Bulls. Rapids got up by 2 goals, and that's a pretty insurmountable lead. And the Red Bulls put up 3 unanswered to win it at home. Actually ended up putting up 4 goals. Through ball, bounding ball, trouble coming here. Oh, wow. I'll tell you what. That's trusting that your keeper's on it. Hootel down there and ready. He doesn't save that one. That's an own goal. Corey Waltrip, as he was running through, I think he was the last to touch that one. The referee said go ahead and play on. I don't know if that was necessarily a shot. I think Waltrip's excuse me, all choked up about it. Waltrip might have been the last to touch it, but as we play on here, 59 minutes in. 21:45 to go in the match. Well, the Panthers' heart rate will start to drop here a little bit. You're going to see that Brandt tries to get to it, gets pushed off the ball. They will take their time with throw-ins, with goal kicks, with corner kicks. It's all about gamesmanship. Burn a little time off the clock. Dilliard will throw it in. Dilliard with 2 assists, I believe. Castrita could not keep it in. But a bad throw-in, and Luis Castrita has it. Little collision. Wilczak now on the far side. Oop, got tripped up, kept his feet. But Pennywell will try to clear it. Luis Castrita, switch sides of the field. Here we go. Nice turn. Javier Castrita, top of the 18, touched over the top. Javier to Dilliard, shot near post, and Heath is there. Boy, you can see Grayson Heath going, come on, let's go, let's go. Pushing his mates forward, let's go. An hour into the match, Boulder with a 3-0 lead. 5A state championship. And a misplay. And a throw-in coming for Boulder. Quick substitution here. By the way, the clock doesn't stop when there are substitutes, so. Now the referee can stop the clock, but we don't have added time here, as you see in professional soccer. Added time or extra time or injury time, as it used to be called. It's just called extra time. And over the boundary line, throw in for Boulder. Can't get it all back with 1 goal, but for Smoky Hill, ooh, nearly a handball there. You got to start with 1. And they have played an awful lot in the midfield, certainly in their defensive third. Bounding ball. Dilliard's going to go ahead and try to send that down. Latiga here to the near side. Here comes Del Mazo. Del Mazo with the bright red hair. Ucera to Del Mazo. Top of the 18. Wasn't a buff around, though, and here comes Dilliard. And now Dilliard's going to take it back toward the center of the pitch. Trying to send that one through. Had a Panther running down. That was Gurung, who, by the way, almost had a goal himself. Hit it off the crossbar. Tip down as Usera tried to turn. Well, these guys won't necessarily get the credit when you read the box scores or you read the stories or whatever it may be, even if you watch. And so I'm going to say it now. The back four for Boulder has been solid. We'll talk about Lake Bryant, or Lake Brandt, that is, and we'll talk about Javier Castrita and their goals. And certainly we will talk about Mason Dilliard and his 2 assists. But Boulder's back fours look very good. And then the keeper, Hutel, has been solid as well. 16:57 to go in the match. Oh, and to see how far Grayson Heath is off his line. He's going to try to send it right back into play and get going. And then kind of a lazy pass, and Javier Castrita is there. Brandt got played off the ball. He's looking for a foul. Not going to get it. Usera tries to lay that to the side. Boulder will control it. Over the end line it will go. Throw in coming. My technical guy, I'm telling you, I should strap on a headset to you. Boulder didn't even qualify for the 5A state playoffs last year. We said they started the season 2-5. I mean, the state finals was the farthest thing away. In their minds, they were just trying to get things back on track, and then all of a sudden, whammo. Their last loss was back on October 11th to Pooter. They lost 2-1. And then suddenly, everything went right. Qualify for the playoffs and then roll through the bracket. 15:25 to go in the match. Del Mazo, and he tried to play it forward. And again, Panthers now going to play a little form of keep away at times, unless you can have Dilliard, a little step over and move into position. He'll fire a shot. Why not? Again, that's a heat check. He's outside the 18, but he's got some space. See if you could sneak one under the crossbar. Maybe Grayson Heath is he's strayed from his line a little bit. He did not. He's been in pretty good position. Certainly on 2 of the goals, he had no chance. The far post shot in the 53rd was a thing of beauty by Lake Brandt. So here we go. Gillis, and played off. Pennywill can't control it, but he'll get it right back to him. So here come the Buffs. A lot of balls going over the top now. You're going to see a lot of that. He's trying to do whatever they can. Touch to the sign, kept in, but right back on it. Valdivieso. Latiga, switch sides of the field here. 13:56 to go in the match. Zach Clemens had a yellow card in that first half. Delamazo. About everything Smoky Hill's tried, and they really tried to attack from the middle part of the field. They haven't done a lot to the side, and then as I say that, trying to set up a cross. They'll get a corner out of it, though. Nope. They'll get a goal kick out of it. Last touch by Smoky. People count on Farm Bureau Insurance for quality products, fast, fair claim service, and insurance coverage that makes sense. That means you get the protection you need along with some of the best discounts available. People from every walk of life depend on Farm Bureau Insurance, and you can too. Colorado Farm Bureau Insurance. Get real coverage. 12:51 to go in the match. Another push forward. Delamazo. Now to the side. There's Burst, and that's as deep as Boulder has let anyone into the 18. Daniel Lucera just kept walking it in. So a corner opportunity here for Smoky, just their second opportunity for a set piece here. And a little collision by the keeper and one of the Buffs players. How about another shot on? Oh, blocked. That one's going to leave a mark. Douillard, and then he steals it away. Douillard's the one who blocked it, jumped up, blocked it with his back. Played off the ball, it'll go out. A throw in for Boulder, though. Yeah, Boulder throw in. Oh, well played, though, by Mason Douillard. He said, you know what? If you think it's yours, I'll go ahead and give it to you. Ladigan was saying, no, it's our throw. And he handed him the ball and backed away and said, we got 11 minutes, 37 seconds left to go in this match. That's fine. I will stand here. I will waste as much time as possible. And again, it's about gamesmanship. They're not trying to stick it to Smoky Hill. It's part of the game. Take a little extra time. And sent to the side, so the Buffs can start pushing forward now. Delamazo, quick throw in. Chested down, and he'll get it right back. Tries to chip it forward. And again, well played defensively. Corey Waltrip got a touch off the bumps and a throw in coming for Boulder. 10:50 to go in the match. 3-0. Goal in the 7th by Javier Castrita. Lake Brandt in the 51st and then again in the 53rd. And again on the statistics that I think I've mentioned the Denver Post. I might as well mention Max Preps as well. On the statistics given by the coaches to Max Preps, nobody scored for the season in double digits. If Brandt gets the hat trick, he will have. At this point, he's got 9 goals for the season. And Javier Castrita with his goal, it was his 7th of the season. By the way, Mason Douillard, who I'm giving credit, I know that he took the corner over there, so he would get 2 assists. He has 12 assists on the season. By far the leading assist giver for Boulder this season. Chested forward. There's Brandt. You know, at this point, why not? You're up 3-0. I think the Panthers are thinking, you know what, let's see if we can get 21 the ball another couple times. See what happens. Douillard with the throw in. 9:19 to go in the match. Boulder High School has been around for a long time. The Boulder boys have never been in the state soccer finals. And now they're 9 minutes away from taking home a 5A state championship in boys soccer. And just looking down the list, Mason Douillard's a junior. Okay, Lake Brandt is a senior. Javier Castrita is a junior. So you'll have some of these guys coming back here. Gripless spiding forward over there for the Buffs. Delamazo, easy to spot with the red hair, matches the numbers on his back. Douillard, here he goes. As he tries to push forward. Be touched to the side. Bill Mausler did a nice job to keep that one in, and then the left foot is sent out and a throw in coming for Boulder. Well, kind of story of the match here for Smoky Hill. We saw that really 3/4 of the way through that first half. I don't even want to say lazy passes, just errant shots, errant passes, trying to send it down the borderline, and that one will get by Greenwich. But shots that are kind of routine. You've got a defender coming, but you just want to send it down the boundary line. You want to send it down the end, and so you can turn things around and let your offense kind of start to push the numbers forward, and then they go wide. They're sending it over the line. Boulder's getting all of these throw-ins, and they're able to keep packing numbers forward. The street down. Waste as much time as he can. Throw in coming for Smoky Hill. .646 to go here in the match, and substitutes coming in. Well, I don't think the Panther faithful will be too upset about having to come back here. But because that 4A title game on Saturday went so long, just about everybody was here for the 5A game, and then they postponed it to tonight. There were a lot of people that traveled down from Boulder and up from southwest Denver or southeast Denver and Aurora to come and watch it on Saturday. Then had to drive back through the snow. It wasn't bad once you got south of I-70. It's just cold tonight. Haven't had to deal with any of the issues we dealt with on Saturday. Bounding ball on that far side. Bups will have an opportunity. Cross in. Nobody's there. It'll go over the end line. And a goal kick here. 5:35 to go in the match. Pass this along on CHSAA.tv coming up here the next couple of weeks. Semi-final football action for you. We'll make sure you stay tuned in on the website. We follow along in Class 4A and 5A. State title games for you. 6-man, 8-man. How about the 8-man? All Southern Colorado teams. Got my boys from Walsh and Grenada in there. I'll certainly see those guys make it through to the finals there. I'll be watching on CHSAA.tv. I might even volunteer to call it. Probably make Corey Allen Fork very upset. Although he may be calling it for his radio station down there. You never know. 4:35 left to go here in the match. 3-goal lead. Javier Castrita got it started. He's had the ball there for a moment in the 7th minute. Well, very nice goal. Top of the 18, just to the right side. Split a double team and fired a shot. Just enough daylight and then put the right foot on it. Smoked it. And then Luke Brandt in the 51st off a nice feed from Mason Douillard. The corner is headed out. And then an assist from Douillard on the 53rd, on the goal in the 53rd, I should say. Led ahead, not too far ahead though. And Boulder just trying to control things. Luis Castrita, not going to be able to get to that one. Buffs, what do you think about it? 3:33 to go in the match. 1 goal. I want to crack that goose egg up there. In the meantime, Henry Hutel has been solid. Clean sheet so far. And has had to make a couple of pretty tough saves. when the Buffs have been able to push those numbers forward. There's an opportunity on the far side. That one got toward the top of the 18. Buffs going to try to play this out. Smoky Hill still pushing the numbers forward. A little hand fighting going on and a free kick coming for Smoky Hill. You want to stick around and see the trophy presentations here too on CHSAA.tv. Top of the 18. Mazzo sends it to that left side, and a scissor kick will go wide and high. Hamilton Pennywell, they push the numbers forward. .213 to go here. I'll throw this out here as we get rolling. Maybe a few football fans that'll be listening in. Well, as Smokey tries to get going, Rebick haven't worked that right side very often. Push from behind, play on, they say. Shot on, and a save by Hutel as he sends it just outside the post. Man, that was a shot by Del Mazo. Oh, my apologies. That's Jeff Gillis. Gillis hadn't had the ball at his foot very often in the second half. Del Mazo, they've been working it from this left side. Gillis will send this one in. And look at that. Snatched right out of the air by Henry Hutel. Drop kick down to Douillard. That's where the trouble started before. He is tripped up. And they say play on. We're back to calling it what we were calling it in the first half. And again, the referee's got putting the whistles in the pocket here and saying, let's go. It's a 3-goal lead here. Buffs will try to mount one more. 49 seconds left. A gripless bounding ball. That's pretty easy for Hutel. And now he will push the numbers down, take his time here a little bit. 37 seconds left. Had a chance to talk with Warren Zeller with Play On Sports, who helps with the CHSAA.tv. Certainly been a big part of it. But coming up December 1st in the 4A and 5A state championships, there's going to be a half-hour pregame show for that. And the kids from Valor and their broadcast segment there are coming in and putting together a program that you want to tune in for. It's very cool. They're going to talk to some of the players of the game and coaches, and a shot fired on. Oh, and a goal. How about that? Spinuzzi from about 45 yards out. It comes in the 80th minute. Marquise Spinuzzi, it's his third goal of the year. Well, and Smoky Hill will have a little something to celebrate. If not the state title, they'll be runners-up this year. Certainly a lot to be said about that. But no clean sheet for Henry Hutel. And Grayson Heath will send it down to El Mazo, and that'll do it. From a 2-5 start to a 5A state championship, the Boulder Panthers win it 3-1. Goal in the 7th by Javier Castrita. That's where we went in at intermission, and then Mason Douillard with 2 fantastic assists. One on a corner kick. Lake Brandt put it through. That just after he had missed going to the far post inside the 18. And then in the 53rd, 2 minutes later, Douillard gave him a fantastic pass as Brandt was moving full speed, was able to settle it, push it forward, and fire it to the far post. That made it 3-0. And then a late goal, 80th minute. Marquise Spinuzzi for Smoky Hill makes it 3-1. Well, as we get set for the trophy presentation, I'll tell you a little bit more about what's going on December 1st. CHSAA.tv, you can tune in. It's really cool that students are going to interview some of the players, some other coaches and people involved, and not just for whether it be Valor, but for the teams in the state championship, those half-hour games. And then, here's the part that I'm excited about and a little terrified about as well. We're going to do a Mike and Mike format because CHSAA.tv doesn't have the rights to show the 4A and 5A state championship games. They're going to turn the cameras on the radio guys as we're calling the games, and the students from Valor are also going to help us spot and stat and things like that. So it's a real opportunity for the students. But Mark Johnson and Andy Lindahl and Mark's going to do the 4A game. I'll do the 5A game. Andy's going to do both. Just to see him on the web is going to be scary enough. But kind of a mic about, you can kind of see behind the scenes how everything kind of works. So kind of excited about that coming up on December 1st. Lots more coming, though, on CHSAA.tv, that's for sure, with semifinal football on the way. Let's see, all the other championships decided. Volleyball, field hockey, soccer now, 2 days later. This is the part that I love about high school sports. At the end of a season in an NHL playoff, players will come together. That's the only time you ever see, really and professionally, it's the only time you ever see. It's when the season is over. This happens every match. Teams come together. Whatever activity it is, they come together in the middle of the field. They shake hands. Just shows good sportsmanship. But really the pureness of the sport, whatever sport you may enjoy watching or participating in, get a little jaded when you get into college. Certainly get a lot jaded when you cover the pros. And there's some great people that I know that have known since high school that are now playing in the pros that are still great people. But overall, doesn't get much better than watching high school activities in athletics. I've got to ask Kevin Schaefer, did they bring Bud back up and to do the trophy presentations again? I think Bud Ozello's probably going to be handing out the trophies again.
Trophy on behalf of the Colorado High School Activities Association, Mr. Tom Robinson, presenting the 2012.
So Commissioner Tom Robinson will present the runner-up trophy to fourth-seeded Smoky Hill, 15-2-3 on the season, and what a season at that for the Buffs, beating their rival in the Centennial Conference in Cherry Creek. So they will get to take home a little bit of hardware. Well, that's quite a run for them. And following along the season here, the Buffs were a very good club, but you just wondered if they were going to be able to make their way through. Well, they did. Yeah, I believe Commissioner Bud Ozello is going to present the golden soccer ball.
On behalf of the Colorado High School Activities Association, presenting the 5A, Class 5A Boys State Soccer Championship to head coach Hardy Kalisher and the Boulder Panthers, your 2012 Class 5A State Championship.
So there you go. First ever state championship in boys soccer for the Boulder Panthers. And they do it in grand fashion. Going away 3-1. Again, to highlight the goalkeeping of Henry Hutel, the junior. Yeah, Boulder gets him back next year. The junior Javier Castrita with the first goal of the match in the 7th, the 51st. Lake Brandt, the senior. And then in the 53rd, Brandt another one, and the assist by Mason Douillard, the junior, who will be back next year for what will be the defending state champions. There they are taking the pictures, and the memories will last a lifetime for these guys. What an accomplishment. We mentioned started 2-5 on the season and then got themselves on an incredible roll right on through the state playoffs, here to the finals, and beating a very good Smoky Hill club 3-1. Thanks to everyone behind the scenes working really hard here. We sure do appreciate it. And thank you for watching as well. 2 days later, we got the 5A title game in. Boulder champions in 2012. I'm Corey Lopez. We will see you next time. Goodbye from Dick's Sporting Goods Park in Commerce City.